Welcome to the Rose Garden in Portland, Oregon, as the OSAA Network presents the 2012 OSAA U.S. Bank Les Schwab Tires 6A Girls Basketball Championships, the Weastview Wildcats and the South Medford Panthers. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to Championship Night in the Rose City. I'm Bob Akamian, along with the coach, Ken Harris, who has certainly been in this position before with a couple of teams over the years, and it's great to have you with us. The feeling of coaching a championship game, all the work you go through for the season, it still gets a little butterflies going, doesn't it?
No doubt about it. You know, it's the thing that all coaches strive to have happen to them, and when it occurs, it'll take them just about as long as it does the players, maybe a few minutes to settle down and get their heads squared away and get into the game.
Well, after 4 coaches in 4 years, Weastview has settled down under Lindsay Struthers and put together a great team built around youngsters and a sophomore you've been hearing about for years, Jamie Nard. This is the player who at 12 years old was playing with the boys and beating the boys. Now she's a sophomore in high school and plays from all over the court. Very unique. She's a post player, but she's almost a point center. I mean, a point guard center type.
She is. I have personal experience with it. I was coaching a group of 7th grade boys, and she was played against us, and she whooped our tail. She does have all the skills you'd like to see to have a basketball player, because she can play outside of the perimeter, she can shoot the 3, and she can go inside and do the job. She's an excellent prospect.
And Westview's done a great job of moving her around. You will see her handle the ball quite a bit, as well as play down on the block tonight. South Medford is the team everyone's been waiting to see this year. They're undefeated at 29-0. People say you play in the Southern Oregon hybrid, you're not playing a tough enough schedule, but this team took on a lot of the best teams in the state and beat them all. Everybody talks about their big size 6'5" center, Tess Pickering, but there's a great supporting cast, including, believe it or not, a freshman, Andy Ritter, who might be the best player on the team.
Very well so. The Tess gets all of the press probably because she is a senior and she's obviously a very big target out there. She's an excellent basketball player that is going to Stanford. But the freshman girl, I think, can really shoot it, and she's going to be tough.
And I know Tom Cole, I asked him about when did you know she'd be good as a freshman. He said, I'd have started her in the 8th grade. Yeah. Starting lineups being introduced right now. Let's meet the visitors from Weastview. Dana Bentz is a sophomore forward. Tony DeRona is the very exciting, and this is correct, the 5'2" point guard. Do not underestimate what she can do from three-point range. Delaney Perry, great all-around player, capable of scoring from anywhere on the field, does some other good things as well defensively. Nard, who we're calling a center, but you'll see her doing everything. And Sarah Curl is the power forward, if you will, the 6'1" junior. The coach of Weastview, Lindsay Struthers, he won a state championship 25 years ago. That's one of the longest streaks between being in a championship game. Lindsay Struthers was the coach at St. Mary's, where they won back-to-back championships in the mid-'80s. He's been a private coach, works with club teams, and they kind of had to talk him into this job, and he's done a great job.
He surely has. Yes, I remember those teams at St. Mary's Academy. When I was the athletic director at Sunset, we had to occasion to play them, obviously. He's done a great job. I think he went on from there to the college level, but has come back to the community, and he's contributing. And even though they had to talk him into it, I understand he may be in a 5-year contract now.
For South Medford, Kylie Towery, the do-everything 5'8" junior, hard-nosed defender. Luisa Tago, 5'9" junior. Ashley Bolston, silky smooth 5'11" sophomore, can dribble anywhere. She dribbled on a gravel road leading up to her house as practice when she was younger. Yeremi Mejia, newcomer from Los Angeles a few years ago, came up through South Medford's youth program. And Stanford bound, Tess Picknell, 6'5", 86 shot blocks this year. And she is, at least unofficially, Oregon's all-time shot blocker. And the guy that put all this together is Tom Cole, who came from Missouri, first built a youth program, and then those youth players, some of whom were never involved in sports, have come through to become outstanding high school players, and he has really built a beautiful thing in the Rogue Valley.
Coach Cole told me that his kids have the highest overall GPA of all the teams in the tournament. It's quite an accomplishment.
Right, South Medford comes in 3.45 grade point average. No team from further south than South Eugene or further east than Prineville has ever won Oregon's large school championship. A lot of people said you could never have quality girls basketball in the Rogue Valley. Tom Cole has put an end to that, and To go 30-0 would be a very unique mark in large school basketball. South is the home team. They're wearing white with red and blue. You're looking at Westview. They're in the navy blue, trimmed in red and white. And look at Lindsey Struthers over there. How relaxed is he, leaning on the table?
He's enjoying it. He just gave us a big smile. You know, one thing, too, we need to point out is that both these teams are young. They're very likely to be back here next year and maybe in this same spot. They both only have one senior starting. And so their prospects for the future continue to be very good.
Nard is, again, just a sophomore. 2 more years of her, and she is going to be a much-desired player collegiately. So Westview will move right to left as we see it. You see the pride of South Medford. They're great fans. Made the trip up Interstate 5 for this one. Ball is going up, and we are underway. 8 minutes in the first quarter, 32 minutes to a state championship. And here's Nard handling the ball right away. Early three-pointer launched by Perry.
Neither of these teams are bashful. We're not going to see slow-down basketball. The South Medford average is well over 60-some points a game.
And they were up at 70 at one point this year until they got into the playoffs. No penetration by Tago. And you see Picknell over the top. So an early foul on Picknell.
Yes, and that's, of course, the last thing that Coach Cole wants to have happen, because she's obviously a big, important part of this basketball team.
Ball will be inbounded underneath by Sarah Curl.
I love to watch number 12 for Westview, Tony Dorohoa. She is so quick.
Boy, she was knocking down the three-pointers in the semifinal game. You see her bring the ball to the corner to Curl. There's the entry, and there's Nard falling away. Good look at the basket, but it doesn't fall.
Didn't get her shoulders quite squared up and up there.
Now you see Mejia bring the ball down for South Medford. It's a nice pick from Picknell. You see how they move Picknell away from the basket quite a bit. As big as she is, she's pretty mobile in the post. And you'll see her run a little bit slow because she is coming back from foot and ankle problems earlier in the year, but knows how to play her position.
A couple of errant passes here, which is pretty common when you start the state championship game. There's a lot of nervousness out there.
So South in the attack. Still looking for the opening points. We're a minute in. This has been a very low-scoring tournament from the beginning, and of course, I think you get to the final 8 now. There's not many imposters when you get this far.
I say it's a great matchup there with the 23 for South Medford and 12 for the Wildcats. They're both quick, very smart players, and extremely good ball handlers.
Mejia and Doroha. Nice entry to Picknell, and a good look inside, and Towery, who does a lot of those little things, finds Picknell for the first points. A pass too far. We come back the other way.
Right, I think the Wildcats need to get Jamie Nard a little more involved here offensively. It's early.
Now, she's kind of had some slow starts in these games in the tournament. Of course, she's a target of attention. Talked to both coaches about how do you handle Nard, how do you handle Picknell, and you know, these teams are too good to fool around with junk defenses, so it's going to be a lot of man defense, but with help.
Yes, because there are too many other weapons. Both teams have other weapons, so you can't just double, triple team those two particular players.
And we'll watch at the other end of the floor. Nard's a particular problem because she's so mobile, and you will not see Picknell against her. There is Bolston blasting through and draws the foul. Taking Curl to the deck. Curl picks up her first foul for Westview.
Now, you notice how Curl tried to take the charge there. And, you know, it wasn't too many years ago where we would have all oohed and awed about girls taking a charge and going down like that. But, hey, they do it just as often or more than the boys.
And you see her hesitate and then go right into 2 players. And Curl felt like she got into position. First free throw is good for Bolston. 12 points, 7 boards, 4 steals per game this year. Her father, Don Bolston, former Duck, who didn't quite finish his 4-year career. Ended up in Southern Oregon. The basket's not falling. Perry's had 2 good looks, but hasn't made one fall. So it's still 4-0 for South Medford. They have the ball back. Towery with the fake. Nard all over the place on the boards.
Yeah. Just couldn't quite get a hold of it, both hands on it.
And you watch Picknell. She doesn't try to move too much. She'd rather use her wingspan to tip out a rebound. And you see they're fronting her right now with curl. But they help on Bolston, but that's no help. Bolston scores again. She's got 4.
Both teams are just sticking straight man-to-man, and they haven't mixed up, changed up their defenses. No full court pressures yet.
And these two teams, you can tell there's the quickness here. They'll jump into a trap every now and then. And Mejia, 5'7" junior.
So you notice how Picknell will come all the way out the perimeter to set those screens. Her goal is to get across a mismatch.
And Curl's doing a good job blocking her out.
Yeah, she is.
No chance for her to get that rebound.
Oh, she misread that because I think the ball did hit her knee.
Perry's not happy with that.
No, I don't blame her, but it was her decision, I think. She just misread it.
Now Westview defeated South Eugene, Tigard, Southridge, and West Lynn to get this far.
Yes.
Again, came in here with 7 losses. You play in the Metro League, you're playing tough teams.
Tough competition. Right. Yeah.
And 2 of those losses were to South Medford, who traveled up here twice.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the Metro League ended up in a 3 or 4-way
tie.
Yeah, 4 ways.
So you're talking Jesuit, Southridge, the usual suspects. Beaverton revived this year.
Yeah.
In fact, we got to see the last Beaverton coach that got something done, Sean Costa. He's coaching McMinnville now. Brought his young team here to watch this week. 3-point shot by Curl. And the lid is on for Westview right now. 0 for 4, and now they get their first basket.
That'll probably get them going here a little bit.
Curl has been really active, and you can't argue with the shot she's taken. She's trying to make something happen. Again, doing a great job on Picknell.
See, look at it. Picknell comes right out immediately to set those screens.
And that's really more useful.
Oh, yeah. Just look at the mismatch she can create.
And Bolston so quick off the dribble. Here's Mejia. Nails it from the outside.
Looked like a knuckleball, but it worked.
9-2 for the Panthers. Curl tried that outside shot again. Now she's got one.
Yeah, Jamie Nard gets most of the press here and the applause for this Wildcat team, but they're a good team. It's not a one-person team here.
Fouls against Perry, and we'll get some subs right away. Westview goes to Emily Ewell, the 5'9" senior. And here comes Ritter into the game for the first time. Keep an eye on number 10, Andy Ritter, 5'10" freshman, replaces Tago. And she will handle the ball, and you'll see her at the point of the defense as well.
I know this. You don't want to have her get a good look from the three-point spot.
She had the older sister. Here we go. Watch her drive. A little floater doesn't go. And there's Picknell.
Kept it alive.
And the hell ball goes back to Westview in the alternating possession. Westview now goes to their bench for size. Laura Lindley, 6'1" junior. See, they're going to have quite the front line going forward with Lindley and Nard. And Curl. You know, they're all juniors and sophomores.
Westview has good size. I mean, they have about 5 girls that play, 4 girls at 5, I guess, that play a lot that are 5'11" to 6'1".
Keep an eye on DeHora, who's a 3-point threat. There's her little floater. Nard hustles out to the corner. The ball's tipped out. You see Ritter got a hand on it.
Yeah, Coach Cole tried to call that, but, you know, that doesn't work very often, does it, for the coaches to call it?
Maybe if you wore a stripe, you should wear a striped shirt when you're sitting on the bench. Nard in traffic. Not enough glass. Picknell with a rebound.
Nice play.
Ball is loose forward, and Mejia scoops it up. 11-4. Lindsey Struthers wants a timeout. It is South Medford early, 11-4 over Westview in Oregon's 6A championship game. And Ken, not surprising, but South Medford's been able to spread things around a little bit. Already 3 different players scoring. And if you haven't seen this team play and you think you're going to get fixated on the big player Picknell, they haven't even gone to her offensively.
No, I don't think she scored yet. She's hardly touched the ball.
Only taken 1 shot. She's 1 for 1.
But again, you have to concentrate so much of your defensive scheme against her that it frees up other things. Yeah, I think this is Andy Ritter who made the really nice, almost a touch pass here on the fast break. Pretty nice for a freshman.
And you can tell they kept, Mejia had so much space to work with. Well, the Cats have it now. South throws a little pressure on, and as we said, there's Ritter in the middle of that and travel the call. Probably just as well because Picknell was about to slap that ball over to Milwaukee.
Exactly. She intimidated her. She said, "Don't you come in here with that." And she didn't.
And 86 block shots this year. State record holder for career. Kind of wondering who there's a little debate about that stat of, I don't know how much block shots have been kept for girls over the years. I'm sure Mel Van Meer might have a clue about that. But I'm wondering whose record, would that be a Jenny Moe record maybe?
Yeah, I don't know how far you'd have to go back. I think she has 9 in this tournament prior to this game, so that's probably about her average, I guess.
Well, she averages 4 games, so that's about right.
She's a little above her average, in fact. But
Picknell to the line now. She averaged almost a double-double this season.
You know, you have to realize, obviously, she's not just a basketball player. She's going to Stanford. My suspicion is she has a relatively decent academic record.
Well, believe me, if she hadn't gotten into Stanford, that's been her dream school, she would have probably gone straight to an Ivy League school.
Wow, yeah.
It wouldn't have been about the basketball. I mean, this is a book-reading kid who does not just play basketball in the driveway.
And from what we hear is she didn't start playing until the 8th grade.
Yeah.
Well,
and when you're the big kid, everybody assumes you can play. And sometimes that's hard as a younger child too, and girls especially. Casting that. Well, there she gets the steal. And there's Bolston getting it forward to Towery. Nice transition for South.
Nice use of the left hand. I just am really, really impressed with all the girls, how much better they are using both hands, dribble and shooting.
Towery has a nice feistiness. She's the youngest of 5, so you can imagine what that's like. Dinner table, front yard.
Right now, I'd like to see Westview offensively be just a little more patient and see if they can't get some good looks for Jamie.
And there's what Ritter can do with the 3. 5 different players have now scored for South Medford. It's 13-7, final minute of the first quarter. Oh, never turnover. Towery, room to work. Sees Bolston.
It's just too easy for South Medford right now. Just too easy.
And Lindsay Struthers says, I need a timeout now. I know the quarter ends in 35 seconds, but we got to get the ball into our offense. I don't know if Westview's really gotten past that second pass in the offensive end.
No, they haven't. Now, whether they've got the jitters here, the finals jitters, who knows? But they're going to have to become more patient offensively. So, when you have a player like Jamie Nard, you've got to set her up. You just can't expect her to come down the floor and take the first thing that happens. You've got to do some things to get her set up. I'd like to see him go inside with her a little bit more right now.
And she can certainly play there. You kind of look at her, and she looks like a 3, potentially.
She is, I think, yes. Exactly.
Because she's long enough. She can obviously play defense. She's got a great wingspan.
Yeah.
And, as a college player, and she's drawing all kinds of interest. Now, she was when she was, I was just looking at that article today for the New York Times, when she was 12 years old. She and, Kylie Johnson from Central Catholic are best buddies, and they're, 2 of the best 3 big players in the state of Oregon now, and they were pretty good stuff on team concept back then.
Yes. No, Jamie, she handles the ball, she can shoot it, but sometimes, I don't know, some of the players fall in love with that 3. And side, maybe it's a little more pleasant to play out here rather than go inside. But I noticed now they're dropped her inside, screening for her, trying to set her up. Oh, but telegraphed the pass.
Turnover number 8.
Oh.
And South Medford's starting to convert these now. Ritter walks with it.
What do we have? An 18-4 score. Wow.
Westview's 2 of 9. South Medford 7 of 12 from the field.
They need a hoop. They need to get some better shots. Well, get shots, period.
Maldahora. Good one to do it. But they give it up to Perry, who misses, and the putback.
I think that was a pass.
Lindley.
We'll say it was a pass.
Well, it's got to be a pass.
Yeah.
But in any case, Lindley puts it down to end the quarter. 8 minutes complete. The finals of the OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tires Girls 6A Basketball Championship. South Medford going for perfection leads it 18-6. You're watching the OSAA Network.
If you've stopped saving, let us help you start. Savings today and rewards tomorrow from US Bank. Save a little every week with every purchase, every paycheck. Watch your savings grow. When you reach $1,000, you'll earn a $50 rewards Visa card. Earn another $50 when you keep it for a year. Save for a wedding day, a family, or your house. Just start. All of us serving you. US Bank.
The Mighty Panther Band from South Medford made the trip, been here all week long. Of course, Panther fans used to supporting basketball. They had that boys team. Right. They haven't run out of singlers yet either.
No, I noticed that.
Still got one more.
Yeah.
Even though that's Billy's kid, the quarterback, playing for him this year. But South Medford, one of several teams to bring their boys and girls teams to the Rose Garden this week. Take a look at all those trophy scores a little later on. This is the final girls game of the season for 6A basketball. Start of a second quarter. It is all South Medford. Picknell in a hell ball, and they give it back to Westview. So Westview's three-point shooting continues to be a battle. They're 0 for 3 tonight. They're 3 of 29 now for the tournament.
Yes, that probably should be telling them something, shouldn't it? Well, they do look like a team that just has come out and they're not settled down. They're not playing their game. Now that's the kind of shots that didn't go in, but that's the kind of shots they need to be getting. They also need to get back a little faster.
It is fast break city for South Medford. There's Tago getting her first 2. And again, everybody is touching and scoring the basketball. Here's turnover number 10.
10 turnovers, and we're 9 minutes into the game. 1 per minute. That's not going to work.
20-6 for South Medford. Mejia misses, and here's Nard starting it down court. Now let's watch where Nard goes and who picks up. They got Ritter on her, so that's not a surprise. We figured it'd be Bolston or Ritter, but Bolston guards the basketball a little bit more. Lindley, shot blocked. There's Picknell's first.
There's 2.
And she gets the rebound. That's a lot of stats in about 2 seconds.
Yes,
Picknell has 5 of the 7 total rebounds for South in this game.
Yes.
So Nard will do this herself.
It's even if you notice that shot, it's off balance. They're just being honest. They're just a little bit out of kilter. They need to settle down, relax, and play their game. Notice also they haven't gotten 1 fast break opportunity. Now, part of that is South Medford's doing a good job of getting back, but on the other hand, they're just not pushing the ball up hard.
Benson Curl come back in for Westview. Nard picked up her first foul. And Nard looking a little frustrated here early.
Probably trying a little too hard. Now watch this gal fly. She can fly.
DeHora. Bolston hit her hard, and it goes and 1. For Tony DeHora, generously listed at 5'2".
Yes, I'd say 4'10".
But she plays a lot bigger. I mean, she's got that, you think of the small player, and she's I think more Muggsy Bogues than Spud Webb because of the quickness in her hands.
Yeah. But the thing, too, is that she can shoot the 3 and shoot it fairly well.
Yeah, she has a good release.
Yes.
Strong.
Yeah.
You know, you look at her in warm-ups, you think, are you kidding? It's like, yeah, don't guard her. See what happens.
Oh.
We'll tip out.
Thought maybe Jamie was going to get a run out, but didn't happen.
Nard hits the floor. She and Perry combine for the steal. So a little pressure on D. See, now watch DeHora behind the back. Ritter reaches from behind for her first.
Yeah, Tony, she didn't think that the ref was going to call it at first, but it was pretty obvious.
She'll come out, and Towery comes back in.
Yeah, Ritter did a nice job in there. She is a very, very good person to be able to come off the bench with.
I mentioned that Kylie's the 5th kid. There have been now 3 Towerys. So they could just keep that locker, you know, with the name up there. Nard.
Again, off balanced.
Follow up. Oh, for Perry, boy, that's her kind of shot too, but they're getting some offensive boards now.
Travel.
DeHora, nice ball. Bence, no. McNeil with another rebound. Now, Westview showing some life here, but they still need that offensive spark.
Well, at least they're starting to get some better looks. They're not going in, but they're at least better looks. There's better chance for them.
Now low to Bolston. That's a foul on the floor. I think that's going to be on Perry.
Probably a good foul. Otherwise, she'd have had a really cinched lay-in, I think.
That's 2 on Perry.
Too much of a mismatch there. You got 5'11" against 5'6".
Team fouls, 5 on Westview, 3 against South Medford as we're at the 5-minute mark of the second quarter. Coming up at halftime, Tom Welter, Executive Director of the Oregon School Activities Association, and like my partner Ken Harris, a Red Sox fan.
Yes. We're kind of in mourning still.
Mejia with a 3. Second 3 of the game. Yeremi Mejia's got 8. 23-9. Nard double team and throws a little forearm out there. Picknell at the end.
I think she drew the foul. That would be 2, wouldn't it? Or
Picknell would be 2, yeah.
Right.
And you know,
it was on Tess.
Picknell had a stretch where she didn't play. You know, she got hurt in a league opener back in January. Was out 4 games. And South had to reconfigure everything, play without her. They did bring Ritter into the lineup then.
Yeah. Well, earlier in the tournament here, she got her 3rd foul early and sat out most of the second quarter and a lot of the 3rd quarter. And they still survived, obviously.
Well, and they bring in Leilani Morris is in the game.
And she's
6'3"
6'3".
senior.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you what, she moves very well. Don't be deceived.
Right, she has good hands, really does. Oh.
Good position. Follow up, Mejia is everywhere. Mejia in double figures.
But notice again, there's no Westview kids went to the board. They all just are standing and watching.
Westview with another offensive rebound. They got 7. They finally get a putback.
Well, we have one team playing well and one team that has not quite been able to get on track yet.
You know, those free throws for Nard just now, those are first points.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if they could keep it at least around 10 or under, then by the half, just get themselves gathered up a little bit, maybe at halftime, I think they'll have a good chance to get back in this game.
Well,
but right now, they're not playing to their...
No. And don't underestimate Nard's ability to get them back into the game.
That's right.
And she is low. Good service. That doesn't even go. Gets her own rebound. Can't score. Number 3. No. Yes.
Notice the use of the little hook. Hold them up with the left arm and that little hook. Nice job.
Might be the wake up for Nard. 10-point game, 3.5 to go.
There she is.
There's Morris with the putback.
Just like you're saying.
Steal in the backcourt. Ritter got that started. Mejia. Bolston. We got a foul. A little bailout there, I think, for South. Because Bolston was pretty aggressive over the top. That's Nard. Second.
Two on Jamie.
Yes.
Yes. I don't know at this stage with the score that you can afford to take her out.
Well, you know, she's one of those players, I think, who knows her time and space and foul situation. I don't think you worry as much about her. Bolston at the line.
Both teams are fortunate, you know, they have good size that they can come off the bench with. Ritter at 5'10" and Rolana Morris at 6'3" for South Medford, good size. And then Westview's 3 subs are 5'9", 6 foot, 6'1".
Yeah.
So
Morris now commits a foul. Only the 15th foul, though, against South Medford. Yeah, we talked about the 7 Oregon teams and looking to break through, win a championship. Nard, NBA 3.
Step
back rim.
It.
Rebound is good. Sarah Curl, her second basket. 28-17. You know, the NBA line left down here in the Rose Garden. It's painted on, obviously. And a lot of the kids this week have been stepping behind it just to make sure.
They have. Sarah Curl just got away with one there, I think, right there. But let's see if they can take advantage of it. There's a nice bounce pass. Oh!
Curl just misses. And Westview's getting the second chance points, and they got the chance for more now.
Now, the big reason is Tess Bicknell is waiting to come into the game. That's why they're getting all those easy shots in them.
Curl's going to get to the free throw line. Morris quickly picks up 2. So I have Morris and Bicknell with 2. And free throws for Curl. First one's good. So Bicknell comes back. Tago comes back in. Towery will sit. Morris sits. 2.5 before intermission. Remember, we have coverage of all 6 boys and girls state championship games tonight on OSAA.tv. Want to check out what's happening in Corvallis or Eugene? Just click over to the other window. OSAA.tv. Hell ball, and that'll be a South Medford ball.
Yeah, nice play there by Perry.
So Nard will get a rest here, and this may be to protect her more than anything from that 3rd foul by the end of the half.
Yeah, so if they can just keep it close here, get a chance to regroup at halftime. There's that screen on the perimeter.
Bolston. There's Ritter. Pass a little short. Take away for Westview. Oh, the ball moved there, but right back to Ritter. Here's the lead. Tago misses. Vargas in the game. She has the rebound. Lupita Vargas on. Gets it underneath. Tago in and out and out.
Another one.
Bicknell fouled.
Yeah, I think Sarah Curl got her.
And that is Curl's second foul. And Curl is getting pretty important defensively, so you got to keep an eye on her foul numbers too. And Tess will get to the free throw line. Bicknell's just taken 1 shot. She's 0 for 2 at the line.
She's had troubles in the tournament here with her free throws. Doesn't get a lot of arch on the shot. And that back rim has been her nemesis.
It's like pop a shot, you know, when you throw it too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bicknell started off. I think she was 0 for 3 in the semifinal. And Towery was kind of giving her some grief.
Yeah.
It's one thing, you know, Tom Cole always talks about the idea of family on this team, and he says part of it is we give each other a hard time. You know,
That's right.
It's not all sunshine and roses.
We need to work with Tess on her free throw form. Just way too much movement.
Ritter gets called for a grab. That's her second. So Ritter showing a little freshman impatience tonight. But
yeah. One of the tough things about, from the coaching standpoint is when you have a player like at Tess Picknell. She's going to get fouled a lot. She has to become a better than average free throw shooter. And I don't have her stats for the season, but in the tournament here, she has really struggled.
Yeah, the season she was just over 50%.
Yeah,
so.
you know, you need to get up around 60 to 65 minimum would be, because she's going to shoot a lot of them.
Well, the Cats sneaking back into it now. 28-20, minute 19 to go.
See, she got the smaller player on her with that pick and roll play. Yeah. That's really smart coaching. I give Coach Cole a lot of credit, because a lot of times people will take the girl that side and just plop her underneath the basket and leave her there.
So the lead is 10. Here comes Towery. Ritter open. Holston open. She'll take that three. Nard hustles for the rebound. Well, let's see if Westview goes 2 for 1 here. Try to cut the gap.
When you're down 10, it's tough to go for the last shot.
Yeah, you might as well.
Nice pass.
Nice pass underneath. Nard finds Lindley. And a big assist for Nard.
One-handed bounce pass. She's got a lot of tricks in her bag.
Here we go now. Westview looks for the takeaway.
There it is again. Same play that they got last time.
Runs down. That's an offensive foul.
Whichever one got the foul was going to be 3.
And it's Picknell with her third.
I wouldn't want to have had to make that call. That was tough. I'd have to see the replay.
Well, Nard was right there. Here it is.
Here's the replay. Did she get there in time?
Yes, she did.
Close.
I think so.
Close. If I was the Westview coach, I would have said no.
Okay. You mean the South Medford coach?
South Medford coach. I would have said no. Excuse me. Well, the Tess has to sit down.
Final 15 seconds.
It'd be a nice momentum if Westview get a basket here. Perfect
Open
three.
Shot.
There
Girl.
it is.
Yes, indeed.
There it is.
8.5 for Girl.
Scoreboard gave it to the wrong teams.
And the first
so
half.
5-point game.
First half comes to an end. South Medford was up 14, and now it is a 5-point game at intermission. Halftime at the Rose Garden. The OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tires 6A Girls Basketball Championships. South Medford 30, Westview 25 on the OSAA Network.
My friends and I were driving to the Salt Lake Airport to fly to a music teachers conference when our tires started going flat. We called the Les Schwab in Ogden, Utah, and they said,
"Come on in."
They were so fast, we didn't even eat the free popcorn.
There you go.
And we even made our flight. In a world where such great customer service is not always the case, it's nice to know there's Les Schwab. I'm Bonnie Lamborn, and that's my Les Schwab story.
Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
You can enjoy the best moments from this year's OSAA State Championships over and over again. Just purchase a high-quality DVD from PrepFilms.com. Order online from PrepFilms.com and you'll get an enhanced version that includes scoreboard graphics. PrepFilms.com also has an extensive archive of past OSAA State Championships. PrepFilms.com, your online home for OSAA State Championship video. Welcome back to the Rose Garden. Halftime of the OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tires 6A Girls Basketball Championship. South Medford leading Westview 30-25. And this time of year, we always like to visit with the Executive Director of the Oregon School Activities Association, Tom Welter, stopping by for another visit. And this is that time of year where we like to thank the people that help us put on this event, the Portland Trail Blazers, as we take a look at the pinwheel logo here at the Rose Garden. And, of course, US Bank, which has been our title sponsor since 1984.
28 years supporting Oregon high school activities. And that's a landmark across the country. We're in our third year of a 3-year contract, so we've already spoken with them. They're interested in renewing, and we are very confident that we can make that happen for another 3 years.
And, of course, Les Schwab Tires, who you see all around the state of Oregon, supporting regular season events, clubs, little leagues, just about everything, and they have stepped up as well over the last decade.
Yeah, they've been a great partner. It was wonderful that U.S. Bank 10 years ago said, hey, if you can get somebody else to help support you, we're all in favor of that. And so we have co-title sponsors, and it's really worked out very well. Again, their contract is up for renewal, and we've already talked with them. So we look forward to having both of them renew and to continue to support the kids in our state.
Talk a little bit about the atmosphere of playing here in the Rose Garden, being in the Trailblazers arena, kind of a center of sports in the state of Oregon, and how teams like coming here playing on the big floor.
Well, this is obviously our major professional venue, and so the kids love it. I wish that we could draw a few more people. We can only do so much. We can only stage it here, but it's a great game tonight. Westview's come back and gotten themselves back into the game, so it's very exciting. I know it's a wonderful experience for the kids, and with the cooperation of our title sponsors, we're able to continue to provide these types of wonderful opportunities for our kids that, hey, when they come back to their class reunions in 5 and 10 and 15 and 20 years, they're going to talk about the experiences that they had this week at the Rose Garden.
And we're seeing such a great level of play this year in the girls tournament from young players. I mean, the best players in the state right now. You look at the young gal, Mercedes at Springfield, and certainly these two teams here. I mean, the quality of the coaching and girls basketball play is better than ever in Oregon.
Well, I was talking to some of the schools that are here, and they thought, hey, we're going to be really good. We're young and we're going to be good. And then they started looking at the rosters of the other teams that are here.
It's like, wow.
And they realized they're all young and they're going to be good too. So it should be a great future for girls basketball in the state of Oregon.
So as we come down to the end of the winter season here, when we've had 2 weeks of basketball, 6 tournaments, and this is really kind of almost the convention time around the state. You get to have the board meeting here. The basketball community comes together. I mean, this is kind of a special time of the year, isn't it?
No, it's a great time of the year, and it's wonderful. I was over in Baker City at our 1A tournament last week for most of the week between Baker and Pendleton, and we had Harper High School. Harper High School had 7 girls on their basketball team, but when you realize you only have 24 students in the school.
The whole school, yeah.
And they were ahead in both of the games they played, they were ahead through 3 quarters and then just kind of ran out of gas, and you can understand that. But it's, again, a wonderful experience for them, and regardless of the size of the school or the size of the community, it's a special time of year.
Absolutely. Tom Welter, the Executive Director of the Oregon School Activities Association, thanks for stopping by as always.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it very much.
All right, more to come as we continue from the Rose Garden. Ken will be back. We'll take a look at the first half highlights and all the numbers. It's all South Medford so far, but that's why we're going to play another 16 minutes. This is the OSAA Network.
We were driving from Portland to California for a bike race when a tire went flat. We limped into Les Schwab, but it was closed for the night. Hoping for some good Les Schwab mojo, we began changing it ourselves. Just then, John appeared and reopened the store. He quickly assessed that all the tires were about to go and got us a new set so we could make the race. Super John deserves a medal for rescuing our road trip. I'm Kim Brown, and that's my Les Schwab story.
Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
The OSAA Foundation was founded in 2005 to enhance the future of Oregon high school activities. Since then, more than $800,000 has been raised to positively impact student-athletes statewide. OSAA Foundation grants have helped schools introduce the Impact Concussion Management Program and help thousands of students through the Student Assistance Program. To get involved with the OSAA Foundation, visit osaafoundation.org. Halftime at the Rose Garden, the battle of the bands, the dancers, the cheerleaders. It's all part of Championships Saturday night. South Medford, Westview 30-25 as we continue on the OSAA Network. Bob Akamian, Ken Harris along with you. We've seen Westview come back here now, 14-5 run over the final 4 minutes. And let's talk about the best of the best. Westview, of course, coming from behind. But South Medford's trying to do a very special thing tonight. If they win the state championship, they're going to join the club of only 2 other schools. And no other schools that have won 30 games in a perfect season in girls basketball. That's hard just to play 30 games.
Yes, that means that you have to get into the playoffs and win every single one of them, as well as go undefeated in the league play and non-league play.
And of course, Oregon. You say, well, where's Oregon City with their 11 state championships? Best perfect record they ever had, 26-0. But that's because Brad Smith took that team out of state and played in some big-time tournaments almost every year.
Well, it used to be there was a 22-game limit also, and then a few years ago it got raised to 24. So, which gives you a better chance, obviously, at the 30.
Well, this is the final trophy game of the night. Here is what has happened earlier today. We mentioned Oregon City, which is one of the favorites this year, and they really stubbed their toe in the fourth quarter of the quarterfinal game with West Linn. West Linn shot 21 free throws in the fourth quarter, so Oregon City had to come back through the consolation bracket, but they took care of St. Mary's today to finish fourth with another young team that's going to be back.
Exactly. Well, you know, Oregon City had played West Linn, and they defeated them twice. And I believe, and then came in, and that's always sometimes really tough to overcome the mental attitude of your kids.
And you saw Central Catholic finishing third with a victory earlier. Very strong physical team there. All right, here are the numbers and the key numbers. Rebounding, believe it or not, we thought South Medford was dominating. Westview got a lot of offensive rebounds and started to get the putbacks.
Right, I think the rebounds evened out a lot. Some of the big keys simply is if you look at the turnovers early, especially 11 there in the Westview had. Most of those were in the first quarter, and that was why they fell behind so far. One of the big reasons.
And, of course, you break that rebound number down a little more. Westview 11 offensive rebounds, and that helped them get back into the game. 30-25 the score, second half action. When we come back to the Rose Garden, you are watching the OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tires 6A Girls Basketball Championships on the OSAA Network.
My family and I were enjoying a big vacation in Tahoe. After a great day on the mountain, our car wouldn't start. I got a jump, but it kept dying. Everyone in town said, "Go to Les Schwab." When I pulled up, George delivered. He quickly tested the battery and confirmed it was a goner. While he installed a new one, I finally got my first relaxation of the vacation. It's nice to be treated like a neighbor so far from home. I'm Clay Gilman, and that's my Les Schwab store.
Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
You can enjoy the best moments from this year's OSAA State Championships over and over again. Just purchase a high-quality DVD from PrepFilms.com. Order online from PrepFilms.com and you'll get an enhanced version that includes scoreboard graphics. PrepFilms.com also has an extensive archive of past OSAA State Championships. PrepFilms.com, your online home for OSAA State Championship video.
South Medford fans 16 game minutes away from celebrating a championship, but a little basketball left to be played between Westview and South Medford. Bob Akamian, Ken Harris. You know who's not on the floor right now for South Medford? Tess Pickno. She's on the bench.
Coach is playing it safe.
A little different look. And I think a little different look. Be a little quicker. She's obviously not injured. She's talking with Morris. They went smaller because Morris isn't in the game either.
Yeah, no, she has the 3 fouls.
And the Cats score right away, so they take advantage, cut the lead to 3.
We'll see how long he can afford to do that. I'm sure as long as he's ahead, maybe he'll try to get deep into this third quarter.
So now a 3-point game, and Westview was chipped away. And they were down 14 at one point. Ritter in the corner. Cowrie, 3, no. Nard a rebound. Nard now has 9 rebounds to go with 6 points. Hits the deck hard.
Late call by the official. I thought maybe it was not going to be a call.
Bolston commits her second.
Well, she would have had a lay-in if she hadn't gotten fouled, so it's probably not a bad maneuver on the part of South Medford.
So all of South Medford's key players have at least 2 fouls. Ritter, Bolston, Morris, Picknell has 3. Ritter in the forecourt, almost walked. Towery. Not Tago.
Yeah, we coaches think you can't almost walk. You either did or you didn't. I think she walked, but
well, they don't blow the whistle. You didn't walk.
If they don't blow the whistle, it's not a walk. Yeah.
That'll be an and one opportunity for Towery, who has her second basket. Perry commits her third, so that's the first Westview player to get in serious foul difficulty. Perry had 2 early. And the free throw good for Towery. So she has 5, and it's a 6-point game.
The free throw stats for the Panthers haven't looked that good, but most of that was because Tess had trouble. She was 0 for 4.
Yeah, they missed 5 in the first half. Little floater does not go for Deora. Ritter changing hands against Nard. And that'll be is that 3 on Nard? Is it on Nard? Yes, it is.
Wow. Well, that evens it up.
Yep. 3 on Nard.
Well, but Coach Struthers for Westview, I'm probably not very excited here about the first minute and a half. Here you got the other team's star player sitting on the bench, and instead of closing the gap's widening.
They're going to get Perry out of the game. Bring Lindley in. Second free throw for Ritter is good.
He's going to stay with Jamie Nard. Well, she's played a lot of basketball, and again, she's a very agile type of player, so she should hopefully avoid that 4th foul. Nice pass.
It's a low to Lindley. I like the combination when they're in there together.
Yeah.
She sees Lindley. Lindley does a good job finding the line to the basket.
Well, you want to have the ball in the hands of your best passers a lot, particularly if you're going to run screener rolls and so forth. And Jamie, once again, that's one of her additional traits that she has. She is a good passer.
And she's a willing passer. I mean,
yes.
She does a good job recognizing.
For her age, she's a very complete player. She had the advantage, I think, of her father, of course, is a coach, and she's had good instruction. Nice lob pass. Wow.
Nard keeps on attacking.
Pretty nice move.
She's got 8. Still a 6-point game. So Nard's job is to not commit a foul, but stay in the game and stay productive offensively.
Right. She's got to try to play at least decent defense, rebound. She's got to be careful about trying to make too many steals.
South Medford playing well small. Here's Mejia. Nice turnaround. Front rim. Bolston, rebound ripped out of her hands by Curl. Curl doing the dirty work. Sets up to Aura. Stop, pop, foul.
Tony's quick. She got it down there lickety-brindle, as they say, and ended up with a nice opportunity for her offense and created the foul. I like her a lot. She's really a nice player.
There's a nice arc and a free throw.
And I'm not going to jinx her, but I am going to say she is a good free throw shooter.
Good form. Well, she was huge in the semifinals. That 22-point, 9 of 18 game.
She just has a nice stroke, period. Well, sorry.
It's still good.
It's still good. It should have been in. It was in there, it just popped out.
By the way, the foul, and again, this is the foul story beside him. Bolston's now picked up her third. And Picknell comes back in. So they lost absolutely no ground with Picknell out. That was good work by the bench. Tess has it down low, kicks it. Now swing to the corner. Ritter will drive. Foul. Lindley.
Well, both of the taller big players, and I don't hate to call them their stars, but they kind of are the stars, Jamie Nard and Tess Picknell, will have to be very careful about trying to block shots. That's when you usually get into the most trouble.
Team fouls already. 4 on South Medford. No, that's not correct. 3 and 3 right now. Scoreboard's getting a little carried away with the foul count. Ritter knocking down the free throws.
There it is, the little screen and roll there.
There's Curl, good release, round and off. Picknell up for the board.
Yeah, there was an obvious example where Jamie Nard had to pull back. Normally she would have went for that rebound.
Rebound comes to Tago. 3-point try, no. Picknell again. She's in double figures, well, she won't get that. Goes out of bounds. Picknell 4 points, 10 rebounds. So the previous one got her to 10.
Well, it'll be up to Lindley now, to Lauren Lindley, the 6'1" junior for Westview, to try to keep Picknell from getting any easy baskets.
Yeah, Nard can't really go fight on the boards now.
They're zoning the inbounds play, but as soon as the ball gets in, they match up, go man to man.
Ritter, cross court. Open 3. Towery can't connect. A long rebound comes to Mejia. Finds Ritter. Towery looks to penetrate.
Nice defense by Dana Bentz.
Both these teams, I mean, there's not a weak link defensively. You see how well the wings work and guards up top. That's how you get here. You know, you got.
That's right.
Got to play 3 games in 3 days.
The poor defensive teams do not play for the championship. No. Both well-coached teams.
Well, this may be just a survival test of who can keep their best players in the game. On the perimeter, look at that. Lindley picks it up and scores. Lauren Lindley hustled for the board and got it right back up. She has 6, 4-point game.
Yeah, you know, the offense that she's providing is a real bonus. Real bonus for the Wildcats.
She's usually about a 3-4 point a game player.
Yes. Well, it's nice that they have that option that they can bring her in to defend the opponent's post player and take Jamie off of the post.
That's interesting, as good a rebounder as Picknell is. South only has 2 second chance points right now. Westview has 12. But it's been players like Lindley who've made the difference. Yep. Towery hits her 3rd consecutive free throw in the quarter. Look at her numbers. She averaged 19 points. You know, we talk so much about Picknell and Bolston, but, you know, Kylie put the ball in the hoop this year.
They scored a lot of points, so you know they've got to be probably at least, I would bet they have 4 players or more that average a double figures.
And they scored for a long time. They were averaging 70 a game. I mean, the round of 16, they put up 98 on Tualatin.
I saw that, yeah.
In the round of 16. And Tualatin's no slouch.
No,
I mean, they've been.
No. So they score a lot of points. My suspicion is usually those are a lot of points off the press, so they're not necessarily by their tall players.
Oh, Mejia gets a friendly roll there. She's got a dozen. So good balance for South. Towery was 7, Mejia 12, 7 for Bolston. Quick try at the other end. Now Perry's starting to knock him down. Her 2nd basket.
A great decision on her part. She pulled up short. Didn't let Tess Picknell get a chance at blocking it.
3-pointer at the other end. Does not fall. Nard skies for the board.
Nice rebound. Oh, travel.
And that's her 10th rebound.
Yeah.
So both of the bigs are in double figures in boards.
Well, Delaney Perry there got the ball. As she turned to put the ball on the floor, she saw the opposing player there and couldn't dribble and got the travel call.
Lindley will come out after a good shift. And now Mackenzie Vandentop comes in, 6-foot junior.
Yeah, Westview has that luxury. They have some size.
Yeah. And she's another agile, a little smaller than Lindley, but very mobile. But not mobile enough for Tess. Curl's taking on that load. Picknell has 6. 8-point game. Ooh. Vandentop hustling after it. Still a Westview ball. Westview won a state championship in 2000. under Mark Neffendorf, who won championships at 2 different schools on the west side, first at Glencoe, and of course, and Mark was a great coach for being a little guy. He was a great coach with bigs. You know, he had Amy Claybo at Glencoe, who went on to UW, and then, of course, the Braxton sisters, who went on to Georgia.
And that was his specialty.
Yeah.
He did a great job with post players. They had all the moves, the drop steps, pivots, the whole works in there. Yeah. Well, it was at a time when that was probably the weakest part of the girls' defense, was post defense. And so his stress on the offensive part of it really paid off for him.
And you see what Kara Braxton is, a college player now in the WNBA. Oh. But that was Westview's last championship. And then, uncharacteristically, they had, you know, this is, again, we talked about Lindsay, 4th coach in 4 years. They had a lot of turmoil and change. You know, good example, Dahorov, a senior, played for 4 different coaches.
Yeah, and it wasn't that they were bad coaches, they got fired or anything, just unusual circumstances. I know one of them got pregnant, etc.
Mejia gets the ball stuck up on the rim. Here's a little challenge. Somebody go up there and get it.
I think one of the officials should have to do that.
Everybody's waiting.
Somebody's waiting. No, I'm not going to do it. You do it. Here comes your
now there's Gary Beck. There's our cameraman
it.
underneath. Let's see if he can get it. He's
waiting.
Somebody has to get the ball. Oh, here we go. Here comes the strength coach from Westview, Jeremy Moe. No, he's not going to do it.
No, hey, you know,
Jeremy's big enough.
How embarrassing would it be if you go up there and you can't get it? Surely they have another ball.
Okay, now are we really going to wait for this?
They don't even have another ball here.
This is okay. A drumstick has been. Oh, here's a ball. Yeah. I want to see. I want to see the drumstick.
He had the drummers. He had the drummers.
I want to see the drumstick. Now here's how it got stuck. Oh, now he can't knock it down.
Yeah. What's the odds? 2 tries or 3?
There we go.
Not bad. Yeah, not bad.
There it was. Yeah. It took 2 tries. Yeah. For our official to knock the ball.
Maybe have to add that to the qualifications of officials.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I got to get the ball. Jeremy Moe is a big guy. Remember Jenny Moe from Powers?
Yeah.
This is her brother, who's the Westview strength coach, and he started to go out.
He may be strong, but I don't know if he's a jumper.
Well, he was a tight end at Idaho State. He ended up being a pretty good football player. Free throw's good for Mejia. I'll file that under something you don't see every day.
That's true. Well, she knocks this one down. They're back with their 10-point lead at the end of the 3rd quarter. They have definitely survived the foul trouble.
Really have. And again, the bounce. 4 different, even with people out of the game, 4 different players have scored in the 3rd quarter for South. A minute and a half to go. But Westview now a little freer on offense. And Perry able to score.
She had to use the scoop shot there to get it underneath the Tess's outstretched arm.
See, Westview's had 5 different players score in the quarter.
Not a good decision.
Just got 4.
Not a good decision. Yeah, I love this scoop shot.
This is last time down the floor.
She doesn't scoop it, it would have got swatted.
This is the last time down the floor for Westview.
Yeah. Look at that. And then
nice.
Yeah. Left hand, too.
Put the cones out on the driveway and make that.
Left hand. You know, girls basketball has come a long ways. They all use the left hand well nowadays. Their coaching is so much more improved. The girls are spending a lot of time at it just as much as the boys.
Well, I'm going to ask you the inevitable question here at the quarter. How long do you leave Nard out? She just came out with her 4th foul. Minute to go.
The scoreboard will probably determine that.
Here's Curl. Good foot back. Ball's knocked loose by Bolston. Saved by Curl. Here's point. Perry is all over the place.
Westview needs a basket here badly.
They would like a Dahora 3 if they can get her open, but Towery is glued to her. Dahora trying a layup and rejected by Picknell.
Not in here, she says. Not in here are you going to do that.
2 blocks now in the game. 88 for the season. But Westview keeps the possession. Curl will try.
Oh, should have shot
for
that.
Lindley.
He should have shot that.
And they'll reset. Lindley did come in, by the way, for Nard.
Might as well go for the last shot now.
Curl. And Picknell gets the rebound. That would be number 12.
Yeah, just enough time for Panthers to come down and get another hoop.
Final 5 seconds. Towery, no. Picknell gets a hand on it, but it'll be Perry at the buzzer online, but no go as the third quarter comes to an end. Well, South Medford in foul trouble manages to extend the lead after 3 periods, and the Panthers are 8 minutes away from the perfect season. 8 minutes of basketball left at the Rose Garden. South Medford 44, Westview 36 on the OSAA Network.
If you've stopped saving, let us help you start. Savings today and rewards tomorrow from U.S. Bank. Save a little every week with every purchase, every paycheck. Watch your savings grow. When you reach $1,000, you'll earn a $50 rewards Visa card. Earn another $50 when you keep it for a year. Save for a wedding day, a family, or your house. Just start. All of us serving you. U.S. Bank.
Fourth quarter set to begin at the Rose Garden. Bob McCamey and Ken Harris on the OSAA Network. Later tonight, live coverage of the boys' 6A championship between Jesuit and Lake Oswego. And need we say more about that matchup? No.
No, that should be a really exciting game. I think both teams are good defensive teams, and Lake Oswego has shown some great offense. We'll see which comes out, the Jesuit defense or the Lakers offense.
Third 3 quarters, South Medford 40% from the field, Westview 29%, rebounding 32-27 in favor of Westview. They have 18 offensive rebounds. Turnovers 14 for Westview, 11 for South. Leading scorers in the game, 14 for Mejia for South Medford, 12 rebounds for Picknell. And then for Westview, 8 and 10 for Nard and 8 and 10 for Curl.
Yes, so some of the names that are missing there are obvious.
And frankly, Lauren Lindley off the bench, 6 points, 5 rebounds. Picknell misses. Another rebound, Nard. Outlet to Dora. Doroa drives, foul.
Well, she's aggressive. She just went right into her. She knew she wasn't going to make that shot, but she also felt she'd get the foul, which she did.
Doroa 2 of 3 at the line, 4 points tonight. Here it is one more time.
Look how she dips her shoulders in. Yeah, that's a smart play. Almost no way the defender can avoid the foul there. You'd have to just
because you have to keep moving.
You just have to step aside and let her have the lay-in, which they're not going to do. Last time I jinxed her. I'm not going to do it this time.
There you go. 2 for 2. As a coach, would you let anybody say that on the bench? Oh, he's perfect. Oh, he's going to make this.
No, I try not to be superstitious.
You were never superstitious?
I didn't say that. I said I tried not to be superstitious.
Picknell to the driving Tago scores.
Yeah, that's too easy a basket to be giving up.
Well, that's what happens when you have 5 good passers on the floor.
Yeah. They don't get very many opportunities to isolate Jamie.
Perry's had good looks, and they just haven't fallen for her. She's 4 of 10 now, but about 9 of those shots were good ideas.
Yeah, because she is a good shooter. She should take those shots. Yes.
They're 1 of 8 from 3 now in the game.
That's the game of basketball.
South Medford slowing down the possession a little bit. This is about where we have the shot clock discussion. By the way, Nard is back in the game, so much for our hold Nard out.
Uh-oh, there's
play.
3.
Picknell deep, scores, and 1.
Yeah, there's 3.
Lindley gets her 3rd. Picknell does it when you front her. She does a good job of creating some space. She has a big stride, big reach.
Yeah, she does. Yeah. It's interesting because Lindley was
too late.
Yeah. Lindley was just talking to Jamie like, well, what do you do? I could read her lips. Well, what do you do?
Free throw's no good. So Picknell has 8.
Still 6 minutes to go in the game and 10 points.
Well, they got these threes. Now Curl can't make that one. Nard fights for it. Nard and Picknell tangled up, but they both avoid a whistle. Bolston the forecourt. Turns, scores. Ashley Bolston, first points of the second half, and it's a 12-point lead for South Medford. Westview takes a timeout with 6 minutes to go. Again, Westview showing more life on offense, but you got to play some defense.
Yes, you do. They're getting beat up both ends of the floor, to be very honest. Yes.
Go into the South Medford huddle, and there's Tess Picknell, Towery, and there is Coach Tom Cole. Uncharacteristic coach. I think, you know, he loves that youth program so much. I almost think he would rather. He cares more about his youth program than winning a state championship. He's been very low-key about the prospect of being 30-0. He keeps talking about his kids and what it means to them. He almost acts like if he's a fan of his team.
Right. When I talked to him before the game, I had not met him before. He didn't want to talk basketball.
No.
All he could do is, hey, these are such wonderful kids. They have come so far. Basketball's not the main thing in their life. He was so proud of their academics, what they're doing, and just how they've grown and matured as people. So he's obviously a very caring person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's not a teacher, and I'm assuming that his kid's a limited youth program. Whether that's his actual daytime job, I'm not sure. But yeah, he's kind of unique. That's paid off for him and paid off for these kids.
We were asking Dennis Murphy, the South Athletic Director, of course, you know, brought wonderful boys teams here, got to coach the Singlers, won state championships. And, you know, how proud is he of that hire, of getting this guy? And, you know, Dennis has held a lot of trophies up at these tournaments. He hasn't had a chance to sit there much and just enjoy it as the athletic director. Multiple chances here for Westview. Another offensive rebound, and then Curl drops it out of bounds.
Yeah, they just, a lot of things just aren't going their way. And the biggest reason is the play of South Medford is causing most of their mistakes.
What do we figure with Murph? The last time he was present for a state championship, 80 only, was boys soccer.
Is that what it was?
This will be different for him, but he's enjoying it right now. Yeah. There's Picknell again.
He's a big supporter of the program, of the girls program, obviously, too. So
Jess now has 8 points to go with her 12 rebounds. Lindley at the other end, off the mark. Rebound Tago.
You notice who's not getting shots off, though. Jamie Nard. She's not getting looks at the basket.
She's 2 of 14 in the game. Curl is 3 of 10. Well, and you saw in that last time out how relaxed the South Medford huddle was.
I think she got caught that time.
You saw the, you know, Cole slapping hands with Tess, and it's a pretty confident group. And I hate to start, you know, putting up the victory flag with 4.5 minutes to go, but I just don't see Westview able to make a run now.
No, you know, what they need to do to have a chance to break up that deficit is you got to go full court pressure, but they got foul problems. And so what do? If you do that, you're going to lose 2 to 3 of your best players, right? Probably. And yeah, they'd have to always play perfect basketball here right now.
So Westview calls another timeout. There's Jeremy Moe in the background, the large man.
Yes.
From Powers. You imagine that. You're a kid that size at an 8-man school at Powers, and you're the second best athlete in the school because your sister is Jenny Moe.
Jenny Moe.
Who at the time was the most dominant high school player in Oregon, and of course went on to play for the Ducks, WNBA.
You know, Powers was big prior to that, too. Way back. If you go way back. There was guys named Dwayne Brady and some guys like that who went into coaching and so forth. But Powers was a big basketball power in boys, too, before the Moes came along in the girls program.
And then, of course, they had the run in football. Tim France won those multiple championships with the Ellis brothers, who played 3 sports.
Well, if you lived in Powers, what else were you going to do? You know? You had to cut logs or play basketball or football.
All right, quick 3, doesn't go, no second chance.
I talked about perfect basketball, and that's not exactly perfect basketball, is it? But they're trying hard.
Yeah, I think if you look at the game plan, if you're West, I don't think you would have done anything different in this game. Sometimes you just need that. Is it luck or is it? You need things to go right.
Is it mojo?
Yeah.
Who knows? A lot of the problems for Westview are being caused, of course, by South Medford. And look at the patience they're having, for example, which has not been the case with Westview today. Their patience has been very limited.
Ritter layup does not go.
Boy. Tess just avoided her. Was she at 4 now or 3? She just does 3 fouls.
She's at 3, so she's now it's not a big deal.
Fourth.
Now you just got to play it. In Westview, now you got to convert.
You got to convert situations like this.
Perry off the glass. See again, good shot for Perry. Doesn't go. That one's a little deflected. Again, Picknell we have just for 2 blocks. Oh, there's 3. There's the third one.
Yeah. But see when that girl, when she picked up the basketball like that, Dana. Yeah, when Benz picks up the ball, she should realize who's going to be there. You can't just turn and throw it up. You got to fake. See, just turn around and shoot it up. You can't do that. You got to fake.
There's a three for Baroa. So he's got 9.
That's not out of, still could be done.
11 points, 3 minutes. If you make some of those threes, now you're
going to have to create some turnovers here, though. Oh, pretty close. There it is.
There it is. Bends up with it. Pressure by Curl.
Got to convert.
Baroa to the corner. There's a 3.
Oh, look good.
Tries the 3. Curl a rebound.
2
Reset. No. Nard stands there for a second like, okay, what do I have to do?
Yeah, well, I would say follow your shot and go after it, but that's the coach talking.
2.5 to go. Now a timeout for South Medford, and Tom Cole's obviously thinking game-preserving strategy. You don't want to go away from everything you're doing and just hold the ball.
My guess is he's going to say you don't have to get a lay-in, but you better have a really nice shot at this stage. At 2:37 with 11-point lead, you don't want to be casting off threes and running jump shots, stuff like that.
And they love doing this dance at South Medford.
Yeah.
And carried through the Singler years.
Yeah. Some of those people probably remember them. We're probably up here. Maybe not.
Well, Matt Court, remember, we had the great run there. And, of course, the great Singler versus Love game. And Tom Cole, very quietly. You think he'll just run out on the floor now? I want to see what he does when they actually win this game.
Well, he's shown emotion. I've seen him be pretty happy, and I've seen him not be very happy with some of the official calls, with typical, coach. So we'll see.
That was nice after the semifinal win. There's a takeaway by Bentz. All right, here's a chance for Westview. Oh, nice to Curl and scores. Good decision by Bentz.
Ready to give it up. Now you got to stay with them.
Curl in double figures, 9-point game.
Oh, but see, then they just let him bring the ball up the floor. You got to keep the pressure on him. But
now, we've been talking about South, so you know what Lindsay's going to do.
Yeah.
Westview pulls us out. He's going to jump around like a little kid.
I think the scoreboard gave the points to the wrong team again.
They did,
yes.
It is 52-43 is the correct score.
So you can't let him get away with this. You got to trap. See, but there's nobody rotating. The 2 girls out here cannot get it all done by themselves. I think we got a timeout coming.
And Curl is now fouled out of the game. Well, she brought everything to the table tonight.
Yes, she did.
Sarah Curl fouls out with 10 points, minute 41 remaining.
Well, right now she probably doesn't feel real good, but down the line, a few days, just the accomplishment of playing in the state championships bring back a lot of good memories. Sorry.
And Westview takes a timeout. Minute 41 to play, 9-point lead. or the South Medford Panthers. Now the building quiets down a little bit. Now it's that anticipation of what's going to happen. And if you're South Medford, you're still pretty focused on this game. Again, look at this huddle. Look how calm this huddle is.
Yes, it is.
Everybody knows their job. Everyone's listening. Look how Tess towers over everybody on that team. But interesting to see her at Stanford. You know, Tara Vanderveer has recruited a lot of big players from Oregon. You remember Tara Harrington, Chandra Benton, there's Lindsay Yamasaki, who was not tall but was a wonderful active player. But there's been a lot of love for Oregon bigs down on the farm.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because the college game, of course, is a lot faster. I don't know if she'll have trouble with that or not, but nothing else. She's, got the kind of size that enables you to work against people, and it might take her a couple years before she works into their starting lineup or something.
Well, and Chandra Benton, remember, was 6'7", and she was getting attention. Remember you remember this because I think you're still coaching.
That's right.
She was with that group that Lake Ridge had, which was very good, at Waluga Middle School. And the Oregonian did a big piece on these 7th and 8th graders. And this was a little before, you talked about recruiting and measuring kids early. And so people had their eye on her on the West Coast for 5 years.
Well, things just haven't gone very well here for Jamie Naird. She just drove to the basket, of course, and wasn't able to convert.
She's 2 of 15, but did grab 14 rebounds and dished 2 assists.
See, and she has the 4 fouls, so she can't put pressure on people defensively. So,
well, it isn't miss a game really where we're seeing that it's the sum of the parts, and the sum of the parts in the white uniforms is better.
Yeah. Well, they both are starting just one senior, so who's to say that we won't see it here again next year?
Free throw's good for Bolston.
13-point lead now with 1:11. It's mainly you're just playing it out. I'm sure Jamie's disappointed in the outcome of tonight's game. She probably feels that she could have played a little better. I think the fouls hurt her situation, but I don't know. They had the one good stretch, Westview did, but other than that, their shot selection was not very good tonight. I think if there was one big difference between the two teams, that would be it.
Pecknell is done for the night. Ritter will shoot at the other end, and you know what that bench looks like.
Yes.
I've seen that before. But I think Lindsey Struthers found he likes this program. And there's a pretty good future now for women's basketball at Westview.
Well, yes, they have a good situation there. It's a big school, and it's a great area. And, tradition is good.
Now it's time to clear the bench. All the regulars coming out. Big celebration for the South Medford. You see the parents standing behind the bench. And we'll take the final minute off the clock. It's funny for Ritter as a freshman being taken out of the game. That's how much of the unit she is now. Lupita Vargas is in the game right now. Kiari Sleazer. Tago has come back in to kind of run things. Morris is the big in the game. We got a foul. Monique Sprang, junior, is in. See, they got their taste now. Now these are the kids that know they want to come back here next year.
That's right.
And you see those warm-ups they wear on the bench, the blue T-shirt on the back, it just says family.
Family, right. Well, as Tom says, one of the big advantages this group has is not just basketball, but they've been a part of this kids' alumni youth program, so they've done all kinds of things as far as out-of-school activities go, not just basketball.
Right, and with the girls, again, they started the girls' team at Kids Unlimited 2003. I mean, that's 8-9 years now. Final 35 seconds.
Yeah, these girls have been playing together since probably about the 4th grade.
And look how South's finishing the game, a 19-9 run.
Yeah. I think they're not leaving any doubt in anybody's mind that they deserve this championship. It's hard to believe 30-0, no matter what's going on, and they've taken on all comers. There's been nobody they've ducked.
They will have now beaten Westview 3 times this year.
Yeah.
They beat Central Catholic, Oregon City, St. Mary's, Springfield, who's going to win the 5A championship tonight, Jesuit, and Clackamas.
Yeah, they've taken on all comers. Yeah, there's nobody. I don't think you left anybody out there.
And then in the tournament, just for good measure, they beat Southridge, which was the best team of the mid-decade before, regrouping now, and they beat a very good up-and-coming West Lynn team.
Yep.
And I know there's a lot of sentiment that Springfield might be the best program in the state, but they played head-to-head.
Well, yes, and I haven't seen Springfield, but this South Medford team is not a one-person team, and I'm not saying that the Springfield team is. I have not seen them, but they've got 7 very good players, and the other girls are contributing too.
Well, and South Medford now will be the first large school team to ever go 30-0. They'll only be the 3rd team ever to go 30-0 in girls basketball.
And they're the first girls basketball state champion.
Large
south
schools
of
South Eugene. Jim
out of
Denker, who won 2 championships at South, you got to step aside.
Jim Denker, yeah, that's true.
And he would. Jim would appreciate. You know how Jim is about team basketball. He'd appreciate this South Medford team.
Yeah.
Final seconds.
Let's hope she makes it. It'd be a good way for her to end. But
time runs out. South Medford is perfect, and they are the champions.
Congratulations to them. They deserved it. They played well.
Well, here's the celebration. And now Tom, you look at Tom Cole away from the huddle. First thing he did was he saluted his fans. Went down to the students.
Yep. This was a well-deserved championship. They played well the whole tournament, and obviously the whole year. When you go 30-0, nobody can question whether you deserve what you got here. And what I liked about it, Tess Bicknell came in with a lot of publicity. Hey, this is not just Tess Bicknell. This was a team. They did a great job.
And there you say, look at this camaraderie. These 2 coaches got to know each other this year.
Yeah.
And Tom Cole became very good friends with Lindsay Struthers, and a lot of respect between these 2. Well, we know this team goes by family a lot, and so to pick a player to talk with, we had to settle for the senior, Tess Bicknell, joining us right now at a great final game. 10 points, 12 rebounds, 3 block shots. And I know you don't like to talk, but you got to have something good to say about this team and your teammates, because you did this together. You go all the way back to November. You won this together, didn't you?
Yeah, we really did. I'm still kind of in shock, honestly.
Did you ever have, you won so many big games all year. It's not like this was the first good competition you faced. As you got here, did you still have little doubts, things you knew you had to do better and better each game?
Yeah, even this game, around halftime, when we were only up by 5, we're like, we got to get it together. We got to keep going.
And you had foul trouble.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I always have foul trouble.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're enough of a target as the biggest player on the floor, and you have to manage that. But, you've played more and more away from the basket this year, and clearly you're comfortable doing that, setting the picks. Does that help you with every other part of your game?
Yeah, working outside the basket has helped a lot. And, I don't know, can I go over there?
Well, they'll give you the awards in a second. Don't worry, they won't start without you here. Okay. I got to ask you about moving on to Stanford, because I know you wanted to go to Stanford University regardless of playing basketball. But how great was that to get the scholarship and then get that chance to go?
It was unbelievable. I dreamed about going to Stanford since I was a little girl. It was the dream school for me. It was the best of everything, academics, athletics. The perfect mix, basically. All right, it's a dream come true.
And I got to ask you one last thing. For this, there's people said Southern Oregon's never going to be a championship basketball area.
Obviously,
what does this say now about Rogue Valley basketball?
I just want to say that.
All right, go pick up that trophy.
Okay.
I think you got to take some hardware.
Congratulations, Tess.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, true to her persona and his team's persona, she wants to be with her team. She doesn't want to miss a picture here.
That's right.
I get that. I get that. We appreciate her coming over. There's Kylie Towery taking the big blue trophy. The South Medford Panthers, 30-0 state champions in the state of Oregon. Congratulations to the Panthers, 30-0. The seniors graduating, Tess Picknell, Leilani Morris, and Lupita Vargas. The all-tournament team has been announced. Tess, of course, first team. Kylie Towery, first team. Second team, Andy Ritter. And the sportsmanship trophy also going to South Medford. That's kind of a complete effort, I would say, for a school.
Not bad at all, huh? Yeah. Well, well deserved. These girls acted like champions. They played like champions, and they acted like champions. And I also have to say that their student body, they have a little bit of farther drive than some of the other people do, and they have been great supportive. The band was here tonight too, adding that, and so they are to be congratulated.
South Medford well represented. We congratulate Weastview on their second place finish, first trophy since 2000. They finished 20-8. Only two seniors, Dohora and Emily Yule, graduating, and I suspect we may see Weastview back very deep in this tournament next year.
Well, there's no doubt that they'll. I shouldn't say it because of the competition.
You never know. Just the Metro League alone.
Competition in the Metro League is.
But odds
tough.
are they'll be in the mix.
They have a great. Let's put it this way: they have a great opportunity, great chance to be back here, as the South Medford too. Let's just say there are several excellent basketball teams in this tournament, and the girls' side particularly. But on the boys too, that have a lot of young players.
And you see the all-tournament medals also being presented. We're going to say goodbye for now. The trophy's been handed out. South Medford has done what no other team south of Eugene has done, win Oregon's girls' large school championship in convincing fashion. South Medford, your state champ, 61-46 over Weastview. For Kent Harris, I'm Bob Akamian. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to come back and click on 8:30 this evening for the boys 6A championship. Jesuit, Lake Oswego. Need we say more? You've been watching the 2012 OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tires 6A Girls Basketball Championships on the OSAA Network.